I wanted to navigate what it was like going to Disney World with a sun allergy photosensitivity. It's not something I probably thought I would have even tried to do, but my friend did a lot of research with me trying to figure out what do people do if they have it. For many people, it is pretty mild and they're just like, put on a hat and wear a long sleeve shirt and you are fine. But in my day-to-day life, that doesn't work for me. That's not enough protection. So with someone with a more moderate to severe allergy, I wanted to talk about what that was like and how I was able to navigate going to Disney for my first time. For me, the sun allergy, again, is not just the fatigue or the heat insensitivity, the heat sensitivity, which I do have, heat intolerance, cold intolerance a little bit along with everything. But for me, outside of just being sunburned, it's full body rash, it's joint pain, it's fatigue. I have looked like a burn victim more than once when my immune system is really ramped up as a side effect of lupus. So I have learned in the past 15 years a lot of how to handle it, and I can make more videos about it in the future because I don't even know anyone else that has it in real life. So it was uncharted territory. I had to bring a lot of things for my trip. So my suitcase was 46 pounds, but thankfully it's under the limit. Maybe you can size down. I like to have a lot of options. And I also tried my best to make the sun protection clothing as colorful while I do incorporate it in my daily life. I don't wear head to toe sun protection every day because I'm usually not out that long the way I expected to be going to Disney. One thing that we did, it was just the two of us traveling, no friends, family, children, so that made it easier for them not to have to work around any accommodations that I may have needed. So we decided to not go to the park until about 2 p.m. every day and stay until close, so that I have missed the strongest UV factor, which is usually 10 to 2, and forego that. Thankfully, the majority of the rides, the lines are actually inside. I did apply for the DAS pass, but they have changed it now to where it is for not physical ailments. But they did try to give me tips on being accommodating. One option they have, which would work better for a larger group, is the meet back up queue in line, where you let a cast member know what's going on and they will allow you to go somewhere else, and your friend can call you when they get to the front of the line so that you're not passing up. You're not having to wait in the physical line yourself. However, I was also in a wheelchair, so that would have been a little challenging for us, and it was just two of us, and I don't think I could have waited alone per se. And I even have to be careful about being in a gift shop or something like that because there's still UV rays from the fluorescent lights, the energy saving spiral lights, things like that. So I still have to be aware, and even if it's cloudy and shady, which there are a lot of shaded areas and it does help, you still have to be careful because rays are still coming through. Maybe not as harsh or as strong, but they are still coming. And there is the lightning lane available. We did get to use it for one thing. And again, since we got there not until 2, the sun started to go down around 5. So it wasn't a crazy amount of time of direct light. Starting with the simple things, a UV protection hat. This one's actually reversible. I brought 3 different visors so that I could see better. My hair is kind of thick, so I brought 3 different visors. I brought 3 different full coverage face masks, hand gloves, and I wore head to toe sun protection clothing. I have on a Columbia shirt right now. I also have an array of different pants and like golf sleeves, along with lots of sunscreen. I have sensitive skin, so all of mine are mineral. All of my sunscreen is Supergoop. I have about 7 different Supergoop sunscreens, and when going out, my initial outing, I put 5 to 6 layers of sunscreen on, and I do put sunscreen on my body as well. I don't have to put as many on my body if I'm going to be super covered. And thankfully, Supergoop has some really good formulas that, even though it's mineral, they still blend fairly well if I take my time. And I can do a video going through more of my sunscreen collection, I guess, later, and maybe a sunscreen lookbook showing how I style the pieces. Don't always necessarily fit my preferred aesthetic, but I make it work. And I set a timer for every hour, 45 minutes to 2 hours to go reapply my sunscreen, and I stuck with it. So even at that 5 o'clock mark or 4 o'clock mark, if I had to put it on and it's sun's going down and it's only going to be up for a little while longer, I still stayed with the parasol. I do have some travel parasols. You want to make sure they actually have the UPF, which is the sunscreen material. Some of them have it more inside. This one is a mix of what they can look like. I've had this one for a while, so again, I do have a few others. It can seem a little cumbersome having all of that on, and people will stare at you, but it's okay because you're trying not to burn. We also went during February when it was cold. It was actually the week of the Arctic blast. It was actually pretty cold, but the intensity of it not being super hot as well helped out a lot, and the lines weren't as long. Some things had no lines at all, so that made even less time waiting. Consult with your doctor. Disclaimer, I do use a tiny amount of triacenolone on my face, and I do use it a couple times a week on my body, especially if I'm going out. And since I knew I was going to have more time in the sun than usual, because my house is a blackout curtain type of house, I did take a small round of prednisone, which helps keep the immune system a little bit at bay versus waiting until I get home, being sunburned, and then completely healing while waiting on the prednisone. Turmeric also I found to be helpful. Of course, I bring aloe vera gel. I have a couple of different ones. Lots of moisturizers. I have pretty dry skin. Kept that with me. Yeah, having learned, I also use sun protection lip balm by Allergy, which was very helpful. I did still get sunburned, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. I still had a flare up. I still had to recover, and it takes 1 to 2 weeks, but I have about 10 different things going on, and half of those are autoimmune issues. But it was a lot less severe compared to even a weekend trip that I've had before. So I'm thankful for that. Yeah, make sure your protection is not too old, your sun protection material, because it can wear down. And I did wear a hat that was older that I wasn't sure if it was still good, and I definitely burned that day the worst, so we built in a rest day to heal, which was very helpful. I definitely could do more videos about sun protection, show off some of the cool things I have to wear that are comfortable. It could be for anyone, because everyone should be wearing sunscreen, and I will have more coming. Thanks for watching.